Could you elaborate on that, the displacement leading to second or third gen poverty? Because that's a structural issue, right?
It is a structural issue, I think. But I think I could only say on behalf of what I know, which is my immediate family members. So I think my grandparents had 10 children, and out of the 10 children, we have so many grandchildren, about I think 40, 50, but unfortunately, I'm the only one who graduated with a degree. I think it speaks a lot volumes actually, because we look into their hardships, they are on survival mode, and my grandparents had to still work till like I think their 60s, I believe, and going out there catching fish. And this trickled down to people like my mom, who actually didn't have a lot of education on the island, and they actually took a lot of pride when working on the island. But when we moved to mainland Singapore, they had to take odd jobs, because of education level, and trying to educate us as good as possible. And I think they did try, but ultimately, you're right, it's a structural issue as well. But I would say they didn't have the guidance, they didn't have the opportunities that others may have. And I think there were a lot of social stigmas as well that comes with displacement. When people see them as lesser, and psychologically they think that they are lesser as well, and they have suppressed identities. And of course, this would come from my personal experience. I could say very different about other community members, but from what we have been doing and also talking to who we've been talking to, I think a lot of sentiments are the same. And this comes from the many different interviews that we had with different individuals. If let's say you were still living on the island, do you think your life would have been different? There was one of the questions we asked, and I think they said, yeah, definitely they would still live on the island. They would think that they would be more comfortable on the island as compared to living in Singapore, because of the challenges they face when moving to mainland Singapore. Everything is expensive, and adapting was difficult as well. Yeah, so I would say it had some effect. Definitely the next generation could be impacted as well.
Okay, thank you so much. So you mentioned a few times that it's important to preserve the oral history and the narrative, right? So are you doing that now? Are you talking to the elders and documenting them? And can we expect like a book or something from you?
Yeah, I'm documenting them. I think I thought I thought a couple of times about publishing a book, but right now I realize that as we interview more people, there are more narratives to unearth. So it's like ending. I don't know where to stop.
So you're publishing books basically, not a book.
Let's start with a book first. One book, see how it goes. I
Okay.
think we want to make sure that the narratives are properly represented and the flow of things as well. I want to make sure that we start with Pulau Semakau, because that's what I know, and the people of my family knows Pulau Semakau best, and of course the people who actually live around there, which is Pulau Sekeng, Pulau Bukom, etc. We did interviewed them as well, but a lot of this Orang Lama has long past, and we are against time, so we're trying to find and locate individuals who are willing to speak to us as well.